Alright guys, here's the latest plans that I've drawn up for the house. That is what you would call, I guess, the front of the house that's facing south in the woods. So it'll be covered by trees, a lot of the sun, but we're going to have a fully screened in kind of lanai type porch, 48 by 16 and then by 6. So it's going to be a pretty good size front porch to sit out and just listen to all the animals or birds in the woods and stuff. So I think it'll be really nice. Then when you're in the porch, that'll be the front of the house with a sliding glass door into the house, and then 3 bedrooms along a hallway that goes to each of the bedrooms and the bathroom. Then the other side of the house, which is the north facing side, and this is only 10 foot, whereas this side will go up to 14 foot. And then the porch will actually top out at 16 foot. So it's going to be just one single shed roof, simple roof, and it'll shed off on this side of the house all the water. We'll do some kind of gutter drainage system so it won't all just pour off of there in a rainstorm and we'll have a bunch of washout or anything like that. So we'll do something with that at a later date. But again, a bedroom, bathroom, and spare bedroom. Actually, spare bedroom, bathroom, put a little window in there for the bathroom. That I figure will be over the kitchen sink, and then the great room. We'll finish it out, leading to the sides of the house. This should be the first side that you'll see, and that's when you're coming up the end of the road driveway area. You'll be facing that. So again, the front door will be there, a window into the great room, and the shed or the screened in porch, which will be cantilevered out. So it won't have any, because this is about a 10-foot drop here. So I'm thinking of just having it cantilevered out, which will be kind of cool. It'll really look like you're in the woods and there's a ravine that comes down and goes back up on the other side here. So I think it's going to be good views when I start thinning out the woods over the years and stuff. So again, 10 foot, 16 foot, single shed roof. This represents our block foundation under there. And then the other end of the house will have that looking into the woods. Block foundation, cantilevered porch. That'll be the window in the hallway, and then this will be in the master bedroom. So again, 10 foot, 16 foot. I think it's going to show up pretty good. Even did a thing of how our footings are going to go up that I'll probably get started this week, putting our own forms together and stuff. So yeah, coming together. We'll start with that, building those forms and get that concrete in there so we can start laying block. Good morning. It is a balmy 26 degrees out, and guess what we have to do? One of the reasons Shannon and I are building our own house is putting up with people that you hire and hoping they do the job on time when you need it and stuff. Both of us are somewhat impatient about that. And these footings, we've had 2 different guys that we've called, and they keep stringing us along. So we've nothing has come, and it's about a week before Christmas. So I'm going to take it upon ourselves to do the forms and the footings ourselves. We did it in Wyoming. It was a lot more to do in Wyoming because the frost line is that much deeper, 48 inches, whereas here there really isn't even a frost line, although it is 26 degrees this morning. That's apropos to starting this project and saying there is no frost line, but it lasts only a couple of weeks, and here and there, like in 3 more nights, I think it's only going to get into the 40s. So we just get a cold spell here and there real quick in the winter. It is, like I said, a week before Christmas, so it is one of the, right now till about the end of January is the coldest time of the year here. It also can be one of the wettest that we've seen. We are going to get 3 days, it looks like, of rain next week. The last couple of weekends have been kind of a washout, but we're just going to go up there and try to get this at least set up, and so that our friend Glenn can get up there with some gravel and put it in the forms, get a little gravel in there, tap it down, and get ready for concrete. And hopefully we can get that in the next couple of weeks and stuff. Shannon is in Nashville still doing her contract. She'll be home for Christmas weekend, but between me working and some rain moving in, probably won't get a lot done while she's here. But you just gotta bite the bullet and get out there and make that decision to do it on your own. So what we're gonna do is went out and bought some sheets of OSB here. Got them in the barn. My first order of business will be to cut those in. Our form is going to be 8 inches. That's what we want so I'll divide those. That's a 4-foot wide piece. So I'll get 6 cuts out of that, 8 inches. Rip them, bring out the table saw here, and rip them on that. I got 2 sheets. That'll get us somewhat started. Then I'm gonna head up probably to the site and start making sure everything's square. We got it almost square, but not perfect. I'm gonna have to perfect that before you start putting your forms down. So that's what I'm gonna do first. All right, got plan B set up. I'm gonna rip them with the circular saw. It's just too much with that little portable table saw and by myself. If I had another pair of hands at one end and we just walk it through, it'd be fine, but I'm just gonna rip them. Maybe when it gets a smaller piece or something, I'll put it over on the table saw, but I'm just gonna rip it right now with the circular saw. All right, already back inside warming my fingers. Everything else is warm, but I can't just, no gloves seem to work. I bought a brand new pair yesterday, some winter construction gloves, and the fingers just, you're trying to measure, trying to reach in your pocket for your pencil, and it just doesn't work, and it's so windy out. So taking a little break, I'll start ripping these boards. All right, guys, the best way to make some decent rips, nice and straight, is to get yourself a good straight board and then clamp it at each end. Make your mark where your cut's going to be and where the end of the base of the blade is, or the saw, and then put your straight edge right there. So when you go right down the line, it'll be nice and straight. It does just as good as a table saw for this particular application, just making these forms. So I wouldn't do this if I was ripping molding or something like that, but for this particular application, it's fine. All right, guys, got my boards ripped, cleaned it all up. There you got them. That's a dozen right there. That should get me a good start. It's not going to be enough to do the whole outside, but we grabbed 2 sheets the last time we were in Home Depot, and just in case we needed them. So good thing, because that'll get us a good start. So right now I'm going to head up and do the square, like square off our stakes, see if I can get that set, and some string line set. I got to work later today, but I figure I'll work for another hour or so, and then I'll have to get ready. All right, guys, I was able to get all 4 stakes in and square them. So that's 1, and then 48 feet over to right about there. You can see another one, and then it's 20 down to there, another 48 to right here, and then 20 back to here. And then to square it, to make sure it's a perfect rectangle, is put your tape on there and do diagonal, and the diagonals should be the same, and they were 52. So I think we're good right now. I got to set up. What you do is you take your stake lines and right here, and we'll bring them out with another stake out here, and then another stake out this way. That way you can remove that stake, so we can get the forms in, get it squared away, the earth nice and level, and you don't miss your marks. Then you just tie those 2 stakes that you put in together, and you bring it back to where your stake is supposed to go. So when I have a string to there and a string to there, and they intersect, I'll know the stake goes right there. Then down here, you can see it's a little uneven and stuff, so I'm gonna start filling that in. I brought the wheelbarrow up here, some rakes and shovels, and we got a pile of stone, dirt, everything. This is all gonna get tamped down too, to make it nice and hard. So, but what I'll do is even this ground out here, because it's gonna be a form right there. This one's pretty good from here over to here, but we're gonna need some site work done here, because what you want is you want about 3 feet to be able to get around, because imagine that's going to be a wall that's going to be eventually 14 feet high in the corner of our house, and you're not going to want to work on it on that rock there and stuff. So we're just going to have to do a little bit more site improvement. And over on this side, the 20-foot mark needs a little bit of cleaning up, and especially in that corner, that's got to be dragged out a little bit further too, because it's right on the edge, and you can't work on the outside of the house that way. It just make it too difficult. So a little bit of work to do before we start putting the forms in, but at least I got it squared, and I feel good about that. And I got my forms cut this morning, so if I do a little each day, I got to work all this week. In the afternoons I close, so I got a little time in the mid-morning to late morning. It's about 12:30, 1 o'clock now, so I got to go get ready. But anyways, feel good about today, and we'll do a little bit more site improvement tomorrow. All right, guys, it's a couple days later, and I'm back up here working a lot this week. So it's a week of Christmas, so we're pretty busy at Lowe's, and I got to work in a couple hours. So just going to come up and shoot the laser to see how level our ground is. So what I'm going to do is I'll set our laser back to that point right there. I'll put it to there, and then we'll go to that stake and see how much higher this end is than this end. And we're doing what's called a step down. So somewhere in here, it'll go down about 1 or 2 cinder blocks. That's how you measure it. So when you put, like, you'll start out, say it goes down 2 cinder block to get to that stake. you'll make a cut in the right here, and it's called a bulkhead, and you'll form concrete like your footing coming over and then up and then over to this one, and that way you'll start 2 rows of cinder blocks right here, and then it'll become even all the way. So that's what I'm guessing. It's going to be about 2 cinder blocks high when it's all said and done. And so what I did, so I got the transit laser up here, and this right here beeps when it meets with the laser, and one will go, the laser will go there, this thing will go over to here, and you attach it to a stick that I made that's almost like a giant ruler. I got it 5 feet with all the marks for inches and 6 inches and that sort of thing, and that'll give me an idea. So that's what I'm going to do, and then I'm going to go over to this side and do the same thing between these 2 stakes right here. So that's what I want to try to do. I got my notebook all set up to make notes and drawings. That way it'll give us an idea of where we got to dig to get those bulkheads and the step down. By the way, our neighbor sold us some French drain stuff that he left over from a build. I got a bigger pile down over the hill here that's 100 feet, and this is about 50 feet, so that's going to do us good, and we'll lay that in a future video once we get the footings in and start building these walls and do our backfill. Right before you do your backfill, you'll put this in, and what it does is it'll drain water so it doesn't lay up against, as it's coming down this hill here, it won't lay up on the back of the foundation. It'll go around on both sides and then go off down that ravine there. So, all right, let's get to it. All right, guys, here's my lower stake. My other stake is up there with the laser. And what this does is attach that to here, and it'll tell me up and down this ruler how far I am. So just turned it on. It'll do a beep when it catches it. I just got to play with the adjustment until it beeps. So what I did is I have that 9 inches off the ground, the laser. It's shooting a laser over to here, and it measures it on my stick at 2 feet 8 inches. So subtract the 9 inches from this stick and how tall and how that is 9 inches off the ground. So we're at 32 minus 9 would be 23 inches, so roughly 2 feet exactly. So that tells me I got to go down, do a step down on the ground here of 2 feet to make, and then somehow make it level so that 2 blocks. I might have to add some gravel here. I got to measure how much 2 blocks is. I want to say with mortar and the height of the cinder blocks, that's going to be close to 20 inches, 18 inches I think. So I may have to dig this down just a little bit to get, or actually add some to this side. Add some to this side to make it better, so, or higher, I should say. Sorry, I'm trying to do all this and the phone, because it's so cold out again this morning, doesn't give me much battery time, so I'm trying to rush it here. But hopefully I explained it. You'll see it as we start putting it more together, the forms and stuff. But that just gives you an idea of how you can measure your ground pretty easy. I'm going to do all 4 corners now. So, all right, guys, I measured all my corners with the laser. Believe it or not, this side here, the 48 along the front, only a 2-inch difference, so virtually nothing. So we don't have to worry about anything there. This is where it's about 20 inches, so I'll have to level, probably dig this out a little maybe, because what I can do is when I do a step, you can only do it as far as your blocks are, and two blocks high is 16 inches, and that's including your mortar and everything. So to make this side level, we'd have 2 blocks, say up to here, and then it would step up in the earth. The ground would start this first level, but then that'll make that all level with the 2 blocks. You'll see more as we do it. If you don't get what I'm trying to explain, I know it's a little bit hard, but this side here is less than 15 inches difference. So I might be able to get away with 1 block. I might dig it out and make it 2 blocks, this being the shorter part to that stake there. So, and then this last side here was virtually even, maybe about 3 inches off. So I'm pretty good there. I can just play with that with a shovel and make that level. So I'm good to go on making these 2, a step here and a step here, and then I can start doing the bringing the forms up here and putting them together. So that's what I'll do next week, and we'll get it going. Right, guys, I'm gonna end the video here. Give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't subscribed. See you on the next one. Merry Christmas, everyone. Happy New Year. I should have a video out before New Year's, and I'm gonna try to get this out right about Christmas. So again, Merry Christmas, and hopefully a prosperous 2024 for us.